The Akan people of Ghana have a rich history and culture, and their traditional religion is based on the belief in a supreme being called NYANKOPON. NYANKOPON is the creator of the universe and all things in it, and he is seen as a benevolent and compassionate deity. When European missionaries arrived in Ghana in the 15th century, they brought with them their own religion, Christianity. The missionaries believed that the Akan people were pagans and that they needed to be saved. They began to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, and they tried to convince the Akan people that NYANKOPON was the same as Yahweh, the God of the Bible. The Akan people were initially resistant to the missionaries' teachings. They had a strong belief in their own traditions, and they did not see the need to change their religion. However, the missionaries were persistent, and they eventually began to make some headway. Although the Akans believed NYANKOPON dwelt in the skies, the missionaries explained that as an omnipresent spirit, NYANKOPON was present everywhere, just like Yahweh. NYANKOPON's role as supreme overseer of lesser deities resonated with Yahweh's position above all. One of the ways that the missionaries convinced the Akan people that NYANKOPON was the same as Yahweh was by pointing to similarities between the two deities. For example, both NYANKOPON and Yahweh are seen as the creators of the universe, and both are seen as benevolent and compassionate deities. Here are some key similarities between the Akan deity NYANKOPON and the Abrahamic god Yahweh. Supreme Creator God. Both are considered the supreme god responsible for creating the world and humanity. Lord of the skies, heavens, NYANKOPON is seen as the Lord of the skies, while Yahweh is often depicted as ruling the heavens. Overseer of lesser deities, NYANKOPON rules over lesser gods in the Akan pantheon, just as Yahweh rules over angels in the Abrahamic religions. Provider and protector. Both are looked upon as providers and protectors of their worshippers. Controller of natural forces, thunder, lightning, floods, etc., are ascribed to both deities, showing their power over nature. Source of morality. Moral and ethical codes are derived from the teachings of both NYANKOPON and Yahweh. Omnipresence. Missionaries emphasized Yahweh's omnipresence, just as NYANKOPON was present everywhere. Receive sacrifices, offerings. Followers make sacrifices and offerings to both deities to gain their favor. Anger causes destruction. Both deities' wrath is associated with destructive events like storms, floods. By highlighting these similarities, European missionaries were able to better link the Akan NYANKOPON to the Abrahamic god Yahweh. This made conversion more understandable for the Akan people. The missionaries also used a technique called syncretism to convince the Akan people that NYANKOPON was the same as Yahweh. Syncretism is the blending of two or more religions into a single religion. In this case, the missionaries tried to blend Akan traditional religion with Christianity. For example, they incorporated drumming, dancing, proverbs, and recitation into Christian worship. This infused Akan creative expression. They trained local Akan converts as priests and ministers. This empowered Akan leadership and indigenized Christianity. They identified NYANKOPON as the same deity as the Christian god. To make this work, they allowed the people to refer to Yahweh as NYANKOPON. To this day, the Abrahamic god Yahweh, that originated from Israel and to Ghana, still has the same name in the Akan Bible as the supreme deity, the Akan people, were worshipping hundreds of years, if not thousands, before the white man came to their shore. Seriously, open an English Bible and compare it to any Akan Bible. Wherever you will find God in the English Bible, you will find NYANKOPON in the Akan Bible. One of the things that made the Akan conversion go smoothly was the great superiority manifested by the whites in their weapons, ships, and manufacturing. In short, in every aspect, convinced the natives with whom they had intercourse that they must necessarily be protected by a deity of greater power than any of those to which they themselves offered sacrifice, since their own deities had not, except very remotely, helped them to attain such prosperity. This was what made the natives to enroll themselves amongst the followers of the god of the whites. It took 2 or 3 centuries for the belief of NYANKOPON as Yahweh to permeate the masses of the southern tribes. The natives later reasoned that NYANKOPON must be equally superior to Yahweh, after convincing themselves that if the Europeans were superior to them, then there must be an equal disparity between their gods. The missionaries' efforts to convince the Akan people that NYANKOPON was the same as Yahweh were eventually successful. By the end of the 19th century, most Akan people had converted to Christianity. However, many Akan people still retain some of their traditional beliefs, and they continue to celebrate their traditional festivals. The Akan people's conversion to Christianity is a complex story, and there are many factors that contributed to it. However, the missionaries' use of syncretism was certainly one of the most important factors. By blending Akan traditional religion with Christianity, the missionaries were able to make their teachings more appealing to the Akan people. The Akan people's experience is not unique. Many other indigenous cultures around the world have been converted to Christianity through the use of syncretism. While syncretism has been criticized by some for being a form of cultural imperialism, it has also been credited with helping to preserve indigenous cultures. The Akan people's conversion to Christianity is a reminder of the power of religion to shape people's lives. It is also a reminder of the importance of cultural exchange and understanding.